first episode of Ghosts of the Old World. If the pilot works, we have ourselves a show.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 horror film The Ghosts of Monday, a film that is directed by, and I do hope I pronounce this correctly, Francesco Cinquemame, and it stars Julian Sands, Elva Trill, Anthony Scordi and Mark Huberman. Right, okay, the film focuses on a documentary film crew that head to a hotel in Cyprus to kind of film a pilot episode for like a ghost hunting type show. When they get there, they are introduced to the hotel by the owners. The hotel comes with a very dark past. Of many years ago, there were 100 guests killed in one evening. They were poisoned to death, and ever since then, the hotel has suffered with hauntings and ghosts. So this crew were there to capture all this. Julian Sands is the host. There's a director and the set of crew members. They're staying in the hotel, and as you could imagine, things escalate. The hotel has a sinister past, so therefore there is a lot of dark energy within this building, and things aren't exactly what they seem. Right, without giving spoilers away, that's the best I can really describe this film, because this film is an absolute mess. Oh boy, is this film an absolute mess. Now, even though it sounds like a found footage film, it's not a found footage film. When you say documentary film crew, people automatically think, oh, it's found footage. It's definitely not found footage. But I'm not really sure what type of horror film this is, because it doesn't know itself. I think the real shame of this film is the bones is here and the structure is here for a decent, scary film. Decent, low-budget type film that, could satisfy many audience members. But it just does not know what to do, this film. It's a bit of everything. This film is a ghost film, like a supernatural film. It's like a slasher film. There's like cults involved. There's a creature in it, like a creature feature, and there's like an end of the world prophecy thrown in for good measure. This film is absolutely all over the place. You just don't know where you stand with it. It's an absolute shit show, really. I really was aghast as to how messy this film is. And it's not just messy in that sense, in a sense of it's no idea what type of horror film it wants to be. It's messy as well in the way these characters are structured, written, introduced. Many of them are terribly fleshed out. You couldn't even recount their names. If someone put a gun to your head, I couldn't tell you what any of the characters' names were, generally speaking, in this film, because they were so poorly fleshed out and presented as characters for you to either like or get behind. There's not one of them I can remember. The only memorable character in this film is Julian Sands' character, Bruce. And I'm not sure it's for the right reasons. Now, Julian Sands, Julian Sands, is a veteran actor now from such classics as Warlock and things like that, and Arachnophobia. And he plays quite a central role in this film as like the host of this like show that the film, this pilot show. But he's a bit of a dick as well. So he's not particularly likable, but he puts quite a lot of energy into the part, I think, Julian Sands. At times, it's a bit pantomime, but he's the only one that is memorable, really, to me, in any way. Everybody else is completely forgettable. And he's very, very predictable at times, this film, as well. Until it doesn't become predictable. It almost like it thinks, aha, you think this film is predictable. And it is. And then they think that, but it's not. So it throws these curveballs at you that no one could have predicted. So you think this is a simple supernatural haunted hotel type story, and it is, but it's also a slasher film. You've got people walking around in masks, you know, stabbing people left, right, and centre for reasons. And then you've got this creature in the basement for reasons. You've got this cult and this end of the world prophecy thrown in for good measure by the end. And you're just kind of like, where's that come from? Makes no sense. And as soon as you even think about it, it makes your head hurt, because you're like, that makes absolutely no sense in any way, shape, or form. And it's one of those films as well where one of the characters who comes with this film crew, the first night she's wandering the corridors, you know, not a clue what she's doing. The following day she's fainting left, right, and centre, and nobody kind of thinks, I'll tell you what, let's go, shall we? This isn't right. So much just not right. And everybody keeps commenting on the owners who are creepy. This isn't right. This isn't. Everything seems wrong. It's all a bit creepy and dodgy. But nobody's like, I'll tell you what, let's forget it. Let's just go home. Which is what a normal person would do. On the plus side for this film, the building that they're filming in is really beautiful. And the film itself is quite polished. There's a certain amount of polish to it. Another thing that's worth mentioning, I think the poster is a straight rip-off of like The Haunting of Hill House, you know, the Netflix film. If you compare the two posters, they look very, very similar. But trust me, the similarities in quality are absolutely night and day. This film is a complete and utter mess. If they'd have stuck with maybe one idea and ran with it, there might have been something fairly watchable here. But the last 25 minutes of this film is just all over the place. You don't know what you're watching, whether it's a ghosty film, slasher film, cult film, creature feature. It tries to be everything to everybody, and it's nothing to nobody by the end of it. So yeah, I can't recommend The Ghost of Monday, unfortunately, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it useful. Of course, I will be back with loads more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.